Hi, my name is Inna Koppel, and I'm the owner of Woodmere Fitness Club. And I'm here today with Kava Berger and Sadie. Kava, so what I want to do today is kind of talk to you about your experience with strength training during pregnancy. And I want to know what it was like for you to do the program throughout your pregnancy and how it affected childbirth. And first of all, why don't you tell me how many kids you have?
Okay, so Sadie's my third.
And how many kids do you have at home?
And I have two at home, a 5-year-old and a 2.5-year-old.
And was this your first baby that you strength trained through the whole pregnancy?
Yes.
Very cool. So what made you decide to participate in the strength training program at the Barbell Club?
While pregnant?
Mm-hmm.
So there were a few women here who were strength training while pregnant, and they always looked really awesome. And I was like, okay, like once I found out I was pregnant, I was like, I want to look like them, so I'm going to keep this up and hopefully look as good as they look.
So you have exercised through previous pregnancies where you've done fitness classes.
Yeah.
And through both pregnancies?
Yeah.
First two. And what was that experience compared to lifting? What was it like to do cardio while pregnant versus lifting while pregnant?
So the cardio was more modified. Like I wasn't really jumping. It was like everything was like stepped out. So like even though I had a workout, it didn't really feel like such a workout. But the strength training every day was like, it was slower, but it was like a lot harder. It actually felt like I was like working out and I don't know, pushing through, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And did you feel like it was easier to, as you progressed through pregnancy, was it easier to do the fitness classes or the strength training as the baby grew and you went further along?
So as the pregnancy progressed, the strength training was easier. The classes got kind of hard. Like my stomach was kind of just in the way of everything. But with the strength training, we like modified like different, I guess, form, I don't know what you would call it, to make room for like the growing belly and stuff. And
what about your doctor? What was his recommendation when you said that you wanted to strength train? I know that you know, you health-wise you had a consideration. You were, tell me about that, what the doctor recommended.
So my doctor didn't really know what strength training was. He said he's like heard of it, but he's like, as long as you did it before and up until and you seem strong, then do it until it feels not right, and if it feels fine, then keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the health benefits that he knew, what are some of the health risks he was trying to avoid during pregnancy?
So I actually had gestational diabetes with my first two pregnancies, and I had read, I think you showed me an article, that it like stabilizes your blood sugar levels, and I was like, okay, like maybe this will help. And this is my first pregnancy that I didn't have it, and yeah, so maybe it had something to do with it.
Right. So the strength training was able to affect the blood sugar levels and to keep you at a healthy state. So tell me, how long ago did you start strength training originally?
So I started
about
like 2.5 years ago.
So 2.5 years ago.
May was 2 years.
And you've been consistently lifting, and then became pregnant. And what are some of the ways that we modified your strength program throughout the pregnancy, throughout the 9-month time period? You basically, what I remember is, you know, when you found out you were pregnant, we just kept going with it.
Yeah.
And then as the baby grew and your belly grew, we made some modifications. Do you remember what some of them were?
So I know we went down a little bit in the squat because like balance was a little bit hard. For the deadlift, like at a certain point, I didn't do it off the floor anymore. I did it like off the rack kind of.
Right.
Also like grip was different in the deadlift. My feet were different. Stance was different. I mean,
we widened your stance and your grip
yeah,
as the baby grew, and that allowed you to continue training and lifting comfortably. Yeah. And how long were you able to continue lifting?
So I was lifting all the way through till the end. The last time I lifted was a Thursday, and I gave birth Tuesday morning.
Wow. That's great. And what was your last workout like?
My last workout, Ina actually really helped me. We we didn't get to a PR, but we pushed for PRs. We were just squatting it out and just kept upping everything to see how high we could go.
We just did some heavy singles because we knew she was due, and it could be the last day that she was coming in. And so you gave birth on a Tuesday. And how was this birth different than the ones where you just did cardio?
So I don't know that it has anything to do with it, but this labor from start to finish was less than 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very exciting.
It was the quickest labor.
Very quick.
And how was your recovery afterwards?
My recovery was great. The first week was kind of hard, but then once I hit 1 week, I was out and about. And
were you surprised by that? How good you felt?
Very surprised.
Right. How did you feel throughout the whole 9 months as you were training? Did you feel comfortable with the experience, or were you worried that maybe it was too much, or you shouldn't have been doing this? Did you have some concerns?
So at some point I did get concerned. Cardio, when I did the cardio, I always felt fine, and when I left, it was okay, whatever, I was fine. And with the lifting, I was exhausted after. And but while I was doing it, I always felt great. Afterwards, I was exhausted, and I was maybe this is too much, maybe it's too hard. But then, always pushed me, and we were fine. Yeah.
So you always stayed within a range that was comfortable for you, and we kind of made decisions together.
Yeah.
Right. So is this something that you recommend to women what would you say to women who are thinking about starting a barbell training regimen and want to stay in shape during their pregnancy?
I would say that strength training is definitely, while it's harder while you're doing it, it's definitely easier than the cardio. The cardio you really have to modify. Mm-hmm. The modification was just stance and grip, and I took it down a little bit, but we still pushed it. It wasn't we were squatting 50 pounds. You still,
You felt like you had a better workout.
Exactly. I felt like I was
safer.
Actually working out, and right, exactly. It felt safer because I knew Ina was watching me and helping me. If something was off, she was fix this, fix that. It wasn't just going through the motion. It was thought out and.
Mm-hmm. And so Sadie, when she was born, I know that you had told me that there were some remarkable features about her, including her size.
Yeah. So Sadie was my largest baby by a good 2 pounds. Mm-hmm. When she came out, the first thing that they said was she's very advanced in her motor skills. When they put her on the warming table, she looked kind of like she wanted to crawl. She was crunching up her knees, and she was sucking her thumb actually right when she came out. She has a really strong grip, and they just said she's really advanced motor-wise.
Yeah, so. And I remember you texted me a couple of days later that she was rolling over.
She rolls over.
She rolls over.
If we do tummy time, if she doesn't, or if she's just bored or doesn't like it, whatever, she'll just flip over.
Yeah.
She doesn't stay on her tongue.
So it was your biggest baby, your strongest baby, and you felt the best when it was over. So, one of the things that I noticed in the fitness classes is that the women have to modify the workout to a point where they don't feel like they're exercising anymore, or they're concerned that their heart rate is up too high. Was that your experience, that you felt like you had to modify the fitness classes, but you had more of a workout in the barbell training?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. The cardio, definitely, I was afraid to jump. I was afraid to I don't know. And in the strength training, you're not really worried that you're gonna I don't know.
Yeah. Better balance, safer exercise for you. And how long after? How quickly did you come back? How many weeks after you gave birth?
So, you wanted me to come back at 2 weeks, and I probably could have. In reality, I felt fine. I was kind of scared of the idea of squatting after just pushing out a baby, so I was
And
no.
How was that when you first did?
And it was fine. In my head, it was a lot scarier, and then I came back at 4 weeks, and after the first squat and figuring out form, because everything's off when you're pregnant, so I had to remember.
We readjusted your stance. Yeah, we readjusted your stance because you were a little wider to make room for the belly, and then we brought in your stance, and you started with a bar again.
Yeah.
An empty bar, and we just put on some weight.
Yeah, and we slowly just added until it felt
like it was work.
Yeah.
And so now, how many weeks has it been? How old is Sadie?
She's 7 weeks.
7 weeks.
It's been 3 weeks.
And so you've had a couple of workouts now.
Yeah.
And you feel good. Everything's good.
Yeah.
Great. And how's Sadie doing? She's
Great.
sleeping?
She's
She a
sleeping.
good baby?
Very
She lets
good.
mom work out?
Yeah.
To all the women who are looking for a proper fitness regimen so that they can stay in shape while pregnant, one of the things that we recommend is that women start 3 months before they want to become pregnant, so they can have about 12 weeks of linear progression before they become pregnant, so they can get good and strong, learn the technique. We do not recommend that somebody picks up strength training in the middle of their pregnancy because their body has not been adapted to the stress of the workout. So we recommend that moms who want to become pregnant start the program at least 3 months in advance so that they can become quite used to it, become very strong, and then they can slow things down as the pregnancy progresses. Okay. Hi! We're here today with Raina and Leo.
Hi.
And Leo, how old is Leo?
Leo's 1 year old.
Wow, he's a year old. So who else do we have at home?
We have Tori, and she's 6.
Tori. So it's very important to mention Tori because Tori's a big lifter.
Yes, she is, and a big fan of starting strength.
You can let Leo. We're gonna let Leo run around and come back for the interview. So what was it like to be pregnant and trying to stay in shape while only doing cardio?
So at the time, I was doing all aerobics classes, 7 days a week, probably sometimes once a day, sometimes twice a day. A lot of cardio.
Yeah.
When it came time to give birth, while I was cardio fit, I thought it was going to be no problem. It was a problem. It took me 3 hours to push her out, and I was rocked.
Yeah.
My recovery was terrible. I didn't feel good. I didn't look good. It was a really hard first experience.
What was your experience like after you started barbell training, and what was it like to give birth after strength training?
Oh, my labor was amazing. They had interns and doctors telling people that this was going to be an ideal birth. They said, okay, you're 10 centimeters dilated. We're ready to rock and roll. 5 minutes later, here he was.
Wow. And how big was he?
He was 7'10", 21 inches.
Wow.
Perfect size.
Yeah. Okay, great. And how did you feel after you gave birth, after the barbell training versus the
Oh,
cardio?
I felt amazing.
Yeah.
People were coming to the hospital. I was standing up. I was walking around. The doctors didn't even know who the patient was in the room when they came to check my blood pressure.
So how long before you became pregnant did you start the barbell training program?
About 4 months before.
4 months before. And you set a goal for yourself. And what was that goal?
The goal we decided was to compete in October, but also over the summer during my training, I also decided that I was going to quit fertility treatments and take a big break.
Right. That was very stressful for you.
Yeah.
And I think I remember talking to you about it. What we decided was you had become frustrated with the fertility treatments.
Yeah, it wasn't going well. I was spending thousands of dollars, the best doctors in New York,
Yeah.
and having zero results.
Yeah, and I remember very emotionally draining on you.
Terrible.
So what we decided was that we would focus more on what your body could do versus what it couldn't do.
That's right.
And we set a goal to get strong and to compete in your first strength training meet. And we did. And it took you to the platform and you did very well. And you had a little surprise right before the meet. You found out you were pregnant.
Right? A week before.
A week before. And so you spoke with your doctor.
She totally cleared it. She said if I was doing it before, and as long as I listened to my body during the meet and after, that I was fully cleared.
So tell me your squat, press, and deadlift numbers.
My squat was 210.
Wow.
My press, about 67 and a half. And my deadlift was 240.
240. Excellent. And I remember that you were nervous, but you felt very good at the meet. And you wanted to go for a deadlift PR.
I wanted a PR.
Which was how much?
250 pounds. I'd set my eye on that number.
And what happened when you went for that PR?
I got on the platform, got all set up for the lift, and nothing happened. It wouldn't even leave the ground.
It didn't leave the ground. And I remember that you were upset.
I was really upset. I only wanted that 250. I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
I only wanted that 250 though. That's what I came for, and I felt like I didn't get it.
Right. And so after the strength training meet, what did we do? How did we proceed with your program?
Really carefully. I felt like every week the weight went up incrementally, a fair amount. I felt challenged, but never overwhelmed by the program.
And as the pregnancy went on, we set some new goals for you. And what was that goal?
The goal was a safe pregnancy, but I was going to get my 250-pound deadlift. We didn't know when, but you promised me I was going to get it.
So I remember about a week out from you giving birth, your program had peaked, and you felt great. And it was the end of the pregnancy, and we decided to go ahead and try that 250 for a single, right?
Yep.
And what happened that day?
I walked up, put my little belt on under my belly,
Right.
walked up to the bar, pulled it for one. I'm like, yeah, that's it. And you go, nope, let's make it a double. A double? So I shook my head, looked right ahead, set my back, double. And you go, no, make it a triple. A triple, okay. I pulled it, put it down, and that was it. I got my 250.
Bit about some of the modifications that we made throughout the pregnancy as the belly got bigger and
So when my belly was small and I wasn't showing it all, I wore the belt regular. And then as I got a little bit bigger, first we had the belt on top.
Right above the belly.
Above the belly. And then finally when my belly got very large, we started to put it below.
Right.
Just so it would support my lower back and my belly in the front. It was so helpful.
Yeah, so did you feel like the belt helped you during the pregnancy, or when you were able to wear it?
Yeah, I wanted to wear it all the time.
It helps support the belly a little bit.
Didn't look good in my regular clothes, but I wanted to wear it all the time.
So what are the other ways that we modified your strength training program as the belly got bigger and as with your stance and maybe some other
So
things?
I remember in my squat, my stance changed, and we also had to always watch for depth. Because my belly was at depth, but not my butt.
That's right.
And then also in the deadlift as well, my stance widened.
And your grip we changed on the bar to make it a little wider, to make some room for you to push your knees out and set your back. Did you find that it was difficult to barbell train through the whole 9 months?
No, I thought it was great. It felt so much better, and I was still doing my cardio classes, but this was just a pleasure. The cardio was all the work. When I used to go barbell training, it was nice, it was enjoyable.
And did we make any other modifications to your program? I can't remember anything specifically. You pretty much...
No, I think we really kept the program pretty close to the same as before.
Yeah.
Not as much volume, though. I believe you took away volume.
We reduced some volume, and just depending on how you felt that day.
Yeah.
Right. So if you there's a lot of women who are thinking about starting a fitness program, and a lot of women come to us and they want to work out before they become pregnant so that they can stay in shape through their pregnancy. Do you have any recommendations for the women who are looking for a safe fitness program?
Absolutely. The first thing I would tell them, don't be afraid. Try it. You'll find out you really will love it, but you just got to try it. It's not as scary as it looks. It's not as scary as it looks, as it seems. I know from the media it's portrayed in a scary way, but it's so safe and so gentle. I would recommend it to anybody.
And how were the coaches in the barbell club? How was the support from the women? Tell us a little bit about what it was like.
The coaches at WFC are top notch. Everyone is filled with so much love and encouragement. And besides the coaches, you have all these women behind you.
Yeah.
It feels like one community is just like lifting almost with you.
Yeah, because they feel for you. They've been through the same experience, and so now they know what it's like to become pregnant.
And they're so concerned all the way through. They want to know where you're at with your lifts, how it feels to be pregnant every day. And when you have that baby, it's like the whole community had a baby with you.
Yeah. You must have it must have been quite an emotional experience to find out you were pregnant. And naturally,
it really was. And the best.
It was the best because we got Leo. Leo, What does your shirt say? Do you even?
That's right. Do you?
Yeah. It's fine.
He's good. So we should wave bye, Leo.
Bye-bye.
Leo.
Bye.